welcome everybody to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I'm MaskBlast09, and here are my co-hosts, Understudy 77, Fubaka, and the Angstful Vapor. What is happening, y'all?
What up? 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 What up?
What up?
Hi, everybody.
All right.
So we should get like the thing out of the way first. We have a new chat.
We've got a new chat.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, let's talk about the monkey in the room.
The monkey.
We alpha tested it. Over the weekend a little bit. We probably had 15 to 30 people in there. It looks like in a live setting though we're having some issues. Big thanks to Tony for helping us set it up. We are working on the issues. Anybody who's having a hard time loading chat or the home page right now, I apologize. But something had to give because when I finally looked at my PayPal tally for the old chat, I was at $407.
Just to do a calendar check, I'm pretty sure it's still 2015, and text chat is ridiculously expensive and/or fucking difficult.
Yeah.
It seems like it's something that has just been complicated since the beginning of time.
The text chat for us has been the most difficult by far.
Of anything else we've done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Been awful.
We're streaming HD video live on the interwebs.
Apparently our page is not working now either.
So what I think's happening is, I'm going through them, so it's hosted through them, but apparently it goes through our local host where this is installed, and I guess the home page is having some issues, which is odd that the home page is having issues with text chat.
Right.
And hey, it's now an internal server error. It's a 500.
So odd that we're having any issues, but we are looking into it at the time. I can't believe chat is expensive. I can't believe chat is this difficult and just doesn't fucking work.
Yo, maybe we're getting DDoS again.
We can't. We got cloud. Yeah. Anyway.
The hacker got us.
Fucked up.
You know, we need to put an APB out on the wisps of caution. I think something's going on here.
Whoa, Masty.
Something.
What happened to your beard?
Something.
He was shorn.
Beard heat stroke.
He was shorn for the summer.
Yeah, it's just it was getting too much.
You were a little out of control this last week.
It was. That's probably the longest. That's probably the longest my beard has ever been. It was getting pretty ridiculous. I mean, my mustache was down into here, and I'm like, yeah, that's.
You weren't quite as preposterous as Tim Peacock from Virgin.
Yeah, well, you keep it groomed and trimmed, but I show up to work and they hand me a mop.
Okay, so to cover a few comments,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
saying IRC. I love IRC, but IRC is not a good platform for the masses. It's just not. We've tried it. There's no good embeds out there. None of them are consistent. The shit goes down.
There's some that are decent. They work this well.
Hopefully we can make this work as advertised.
Right.
But IRC has always kind of been a backup option, and at some point we may go back to it. But it has its own set of issues. And let's be honest, people love social login. They really do.
Mm-hmm.
And for the person who just commented on YouTube and said do a YouTube live stream and use YouTube chat, YouTube chat is the biggest piece of shit.
It's worse than all of this wrapped up together.
You can't post links. It's slow. It is a piece of shit.
Caca.
That is. So there's no way in hell it will ever happen with YouTube chat. Hopefully we can fix this. If not, we'll consider IRC. Thankfully, the investment in this chat is nowhere near as high as the old one.
Yeah, and if it doesn't fucking work, we're getting the money back.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Because we make so much money here at the Plumes of Hazard.
Right.
Hey, I was saying, man, I'm fucking going broke on chats.
Yeah.
Anyway, those issues aside, they are being looked into. How are you guys doing tonight? I knew something was going to happen. I had a feeling that something was going to happen.
Yep.
I even have the feeling that tonight was going to be a good night.
I knew you were going to go there.
Keep it going, keep it going.
Hey, Foo, what you vaping on, man?
I'm actually keeping it simple as fuck tonight. I've got the sub tank on the sub box, the Deadly Sin in there from Good Life. I got the SX Mini with no Odin on it, with my sweet one from Stash. I'm out. My K-Fun's upstairs. It's got Raspberry in it.
You're out.
Right now, this is what I've been jamming on the last couple of days because I don't feel like building. It's been quite nice. What are you vaping on, man?
True. I'm vaping on 3 drippers, but that's secondary. So the first thing I'm vaping on is I've got the Flark Ubertoot. The first has got Raspberry Mint in it, and I've got 3 drippers that I'm working on here. What I'm on the Zero, which we'll talk about in a minute because it's got some stuff going on. I've got the Steam Monkey Catalyst box and the AOS. And I forgot to say on the Zero, I do have the Velocity. And then last but not least, from Baratube, I've got the SX Mini, and on top, the Makeo Shorty. Make sure the name's put up. The little Makeo Shorty's on top of there. And all 3 of those have got Big Blue by Library Liquids. Sean?
I have the Zero with the Nectar with Nola from Lane Cove in it. And I have the Ubertoot with this right here that I'm going to be talking about in a little bit.
Ooh,
it's fucking pretty, isn't it?
Oh, the hero.
So I'll be talking about that in a little bit as well. Masty, you're up.
I just got the Silo with Samantha, and I just had it on my Flark, and I just swapped it out of it. I think the battery's dead on here, so that's all I got right now. That's about it.
Oh, I forgot. I was actually vaping something else today that I had not vaped in a while. And I'm actually out of mods, so I actually took it off to do something else. But in the Beast, I've got the Silo Beast. I put Ruby that is used from Music City Vape Sauce. Something a little bit different and kind of tart and tangy. Good. It's good. I like it.
Actually, something I forgot to mention last show. Charlie Noble had a booth at the Vape Expo in New Jersey, and they put out a 3 yogurt flavor line. I tried the 3 of them. I took home a bottle of the one I liked most, which was smoked yogurt.
Smoked yogurt?
Yogurt.
What does that taste like?
It is a yogurt RY4.
Oh.
Full legs of tobaccos.
Is it vanilla-y though?
No, it's a darker flavor, but it's also very light and very smooth.
Yeah.
My only thing is with this liquid is that it's a 65-35. It's a little bit on the thin side, so I don't see it as a liquid. It tastes good in a tank, that's for damn sure, and it's good on like a low watt drip setup. It's worth a try, and their juice is very reasonably priced.
True.
Oh wait, I have news. No, I don't.
You have news? No, you don't?
I'm very confused about which one it is now, if it's news or if it's not.
He had news, now he don't.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't have news.
I had the biggest news of all time, but now I don't have it.
Oh, yeah.
That piece of news has morphed into I do hate USPS. Just in case anybody's forgotten, I haven't mentioned that in a couple of months.
Well, didn't we have a show name a couple months ago saying I really fucking hate USPS?
Something about sucking donkey
Yeah, I
nuts.
think we did.
They still do. They still do. In case anybody's still wondering.
I thought so. I thought we had.
It's nice to see a company remain consistent. How about that? That's a positive spin. They broke something, by the way. So yeah, it sucks. Fu, you really don't. Was that a conclusion? You don't have anything to discuss tonight?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, if you come up with something, it's not like we got to go to order. I just didn't want to skip you.
Oh, but I mean, actually, a note that I guess something I forgot to mention with the Charlie Noble flavor. They got me with the pistachio, so of course I was going to go with another tobacco. Good.
They have had consistently good tobaccos so far, I have to say. I've enjoyed
2 for 2 in my book.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the Charlie Noble tobaccos a lot.
Do we have our T-shirt guys still linked? We still got them linked on the homepage, don't we?
I think so. It's vapingswag.com.
Yeah, vapingswag.com. That's where I got my Blue Light shirt. It's got a Plumes logo and stuff on it.
Yep.
It's awesome. That's somebody in chat was asking. I don't know when they typed that. It might have been 5 or 10 minutes ago, but there's the answer to your question.
Well, the chat delay may be getting close to the live delay now.
It's not, because I typed minutes ago and mine still hasn't popped up. So there's that. So let's do this first. We'll start off our news segment with a little bit of a small crucifixion, question mark. It's something that I'm not excited about, but there are people using it. I'm trying to decide how to phrase this kind of neutrally. I can't figure it out. I think this is scary as shit. Okay, so titanium. Everybody's using titanium wire now. It's the other thing besides Ni200 or nickel that you can use for temperature regulation. And by regulation, I just mean limiting. Most of these things are limiting your temperature. What's that?
Do I need to get that queued up?
Yes, please, if you would. I would appreciate it. So
I'm not sure that small crucifixion is accurate.
Yeah, but the only reason I won't say it's a huge crucifixion is because this was just a thing that a guy did on YouTube, and but what it does is it kind of confirms what Matthew and I played with a little bit back when he got some titanium wire, and it's sort of like a more obvious example of what Masty found when he was doing his firing of this thing. So the short of it is, this last week, a guy in France did a little testing. So he wrapped up his Addy with a single coil titanium, and arguably slightly out of spec. And we'll go into this in a minute. And now I'm completely drawing a blank on the name of the mod. EVIC, the newer EVIC, right? Which has got a titanium mode, which he had it in, but there's a couple things that were wrong. He wrapped it a little bit too high of a resistance, so it was popping out of where it should have been limiting the temperature, and he was admittedly dry burning it because, and they say you shouldn't dry burn titanium. So those two things said, he was using a little bit out of spec, and he was dry burning it when they said not to. But this is what happened. This is like halfway through this video, and what he's doing, he's wrapped these things and he's pulsing the coil over a sheet of paper. And Masty, if you'd roll that, we can watch him do that for just a minute. And there's the voiceovers in French, so we won't mute it. Yeah, so we won't play the audio, but we'll just kind of talk through it. That's basically what's happening. What you're about to see is this.
I'll go ahead and zoom up on it too.
Yeah, go ahead. So here he is with his coil, with some longer legs, so we can get over some paper safely, so he doesn't set anything on fire. And he starts pulsing it.
D'environ 5 secondes.
Ooh, I don't speak any French, but there's English subtitles and we can link the video if you want to watch it later in its entirety. But you watch him here. He pulses it a few times and then he stops and lets it cool down. So as the coil naturally cools down, you can start to see down there on the paper, and what? Look at all that shit just falling off the coil. So what Masty and I saw when he was doing the test, when he was doing little pulses, is he saw the coil go kind of white, right? And that's something that everybody talks about, the going white. But this guy, he does like a 5 1-second pulses. And then he just did another 5 1-second pulses, and once it cools down, man, what apparently, at least to the eye, is titanium dioxide, just starts flaking off and falling what would be into your wick and
And you know what, Anksy? This may very well have had been happening inside of my Addy.
Right.
I just didn't notice it.
You wouldn't notice it.
Because all I was, all we were testing was to see what reaction the wire had when it was, improperly, overheated and,
Right.
caused to dry burn and all that, and have the coil, pretty much pop.
Right.
And also, I don't think my, that's a lot. I don't think my coils were spaced like that, but it might have been doing that.
Right, and you did notice that, and I don't think you recorded this part, but you noticed that it flaked off on your finger. When you hit it with your fingernail after it cooled off, you saw some stuff coming off of it, and that would be this stuff. So the only reason I'm not stringing these guys up right now is we really don't know exactly A, what this is, B, if this really is bad for you. All we do know is it looks like titanium dioxide, and we do know titanium dioxide is bad to inhale.
And also, this is because I know it's gonna come up. This doesn't happen inside of your Addy all the time or at all, okay? Because temperature control will be temperature protection will be keeping the wire from doing that and all this stuff. So this is a worst case scenario. He's trying just to show the possibility of what could happen to the wire if it was glowing red like that. Now, I will say this. This is the whole end of the coil, okay, doing this, and you can see the legs get red hot too.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, with titanium, you can get hot legs,
Yep.
and you can get hot areas even if you have cotton. If you watched it, if you looked at it as you were firing it, it can happen with temp control. And this is on a DNA 200, a DNA 40, an SX, the EVIC.
Cloud pour, whoever, temperature limiting.
It doesn't matter. And you can have those hot legs. And this is nothing new. Right, because this can happen with Canthal too. It can happen with nickel. So it's just that this wire that they're showing on the video reacts that way.
Right. So, and I want to make it perfectly clear that this guy apparently was doing it incorrectly. Right. He was using the wrong resistance, and he was definitely pulsing with no juice on it. But the problem that I have is those are a couple things that could happen very easily with anybody wrapping it, much less somebody that might be a little newer to the whole thing, or even not even new to vaping, just new to temperature regulation, that didn't know you had to hit a specific range of, and it's a pretty tight range of resistance. I think it's like, I think he said it was like 0.08 to 0.4 or something. I don't remember what it was, but whatever that range is, and I don't know what it is on that mod, but I'm not willing personally to trust some rando board out there to make sure there's never a hot leg, first of all. Second of all, when titanium is as expensive as it is, and it is quite a bit more expensive than Canthal, up to like $1.20 a foot, I'm not going to wrap a coil and wick it, and when it's done, throw it away. I'm going to want to take it out, take the wick out, pulse it, clean it up, and re-wick it. That's what I do with Canthal, and Canthal's basically free. So with those two little caveats in there, that's why I think this is relevant. I wanted to show it to everybody. So titanium, your miles may vary. It's not for me, at least not yet.
Yeah, I'm not. Nope.
Yep.
Not happening.
No, thank you. I'm gonna have a vape.
Not happening.
So
let's take a poop.
Yeah, let's take a poop. I did rewatch Bitter Brown this last week when we posted it on the channel. I hadn't seen it in a long time. It was good.
We should comment that we did put 2 videos on the Plumes channel, 2 old videos, and 2 parody videos. Felipe Biscondo, as done by Master Blaster 09, and Bitter Brown, as done by Fubaka. Those went up last week. If you haven't seen them, you should watch them. They're pretty humorous. They were shot way back in the day before Plumes was a thing.
Now everybody knows where these came from. I've done the CSI bit with these when I'm lacking sunglasses, but that's where those glasses.
Well, you know what's funny, that someone probably watched last week's show or the week before, and they saw the Felipe Buscando video, and they're like, "Damn, Mass, you clean up nice." That's fucking.
Your face is definitely different when it's bearded versus not really bearded.
Yeah, well, El Senor Basardo does not run a full face beard, so.
Right. Not that he couldn't.
Right.
I don't know. He's Italian, right? Surely he's got
Mast had the goatee. He decided to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
I was just gonna go there. Go.
Nice. Thank you for the people that are spamming the same thing over and over again. I'm sure that'll make the chat work really well.
I'm a big fan. So Nick's in there. He said maybe if we complain about it some more, it'll fix itself.
He said Bitter Brown is better than all my videos combined.
We are working on it, everybody.
Yeah.
It's the first time shit happens. I'm not gonna feel bad about it because shit happens and this show is free.
You're getting every penny of what you paid for right now.
Exactly.
Non-sponsored, so we're shit.
Deal with it.
Hashtag.
Deal with it. So Beyond Vape did send over the little Makeo shorty a couple weeks ago. I think most of us had a chance to build it out and use it. I currently have the chuff style top on it, and I was going to show it a little bit close so folks can see it if you haven't. It is a wee tiny little deck. And I currently have in there a Clapton coil, which is my first actual Clapton that Sean sent over. It came in this little shiny jewelry box thing. Oh, look at there. All nicely packaged and whatever. I don't know what the brand is, though. It just says Fused Clapton.
Ask Nick. I took them from him.
Nick, I don't know where you got these, but it works pretty well. This is my first of the thingies. But one of the things I was going to show, so it's dual coil or single coil. It does have 3 little slots in both the chuff style cap, which I'm off camera, chuff style cap, as well as the normal 510 sort of thing. But the neat thing about it is you still have airflow control with this thing. So once you get it where you want it, you pop it down, and there you go. Bing, bang, boom. You're done. It's really pretty easy to wrap. At least I found it to be easy to wrap. The post holes are enormous and actually slightly too big in my opinion, because the center post, when I went to go put, what did I wrap in there first? I think I wrapped 26. Oh, it was 24. I don't remember. Whatever. It wasn't a tiny wire. When I went to put it in there, the 2 positive legs went through. First one pinned down just fine. The second one actually got kind of routed up the side of the screw a little bit because the hole is so big, and it ended up shearing my wire. So I pulled it out, rewrapped the coil, put it back in there, and this time I was just careful to keep it like centered as I screwed down the middle terminal, and it worked fine after that. I think this is probably a less messy Derringer, so it's good flavor and not as messy as the dairy can be. Ooh, there we go. And oh god, and this chuff style cap that's on top, it's so wide. How wide is it? It's so wide.
So wide.
I can tighten the 3 posts through it with a screwdriver. Like that's huge.
The wow.
Your tailpipe is so wide.
I think I have to agree. It is kind of a less messy Derringer. I have it on the DNA 200 with 2 fused Clapton coils, and
man, that's some crackalackle factor.
yeah, no shit. Hold on, I'll put it up to the mic here.
Crackalackle factor.
So that's actually some of the things I was just kind of threw out. This is kind of off topic of the Makeo, but the Claptons are very spitty, clappy, clattery, noisy things, aren't they?
So what's interesting about them is if I dry fire this, like if I just fire it,
yeah,
juice shoots out the air holes.
That's a bad bitch right here.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't do that about me.
Here we go.
Because it's Sean, he doesn't vape like that.
Yeah, it's spitty, and this is with, I mean, Lab Rat's not a very spitty juice, and it's definitely
It's not.
hashtag spitty.
And that's
the
it.
amount of vapor.
73 watts. That one is.
The amount of vapor off that single fire was all of Sean's vapor for the day.
Pretty much, yeah. That's all I got all day.
That was a day. That was a day in the toot.
Is it dead? Oh, that's why. Hold on, I got to do the SX Mini
I'll
dance.
I'll vape it for.
Oh yeah, the SX Mini dance.
Ready to do the SX Mini dance?
Without the chuff cap.
Hey, Masty, do you have some background music for the SX Mini dance?
We need a beat.
Sure.
Almost got it. There it is. I tried to talk over it a little bit. Hopefully that wouldn't happen.
The problem is without the chuff cap on this thing, I basically feel like I'm drinking. I really do. With the normal drip tip, I feel like I'm having a drink.
You're usually used to drinking through a type bubble straw, right?
Yeah. I really like. I'm getting more juice in my mouth than vapor at this point.
Yeah, I did not find that to be the case, by the way, with a normal set of coils in it. It's just the Clapton that's doing that for me.
That could be the case. The Clapton's a big fucking coil.
Yeah, it's big and it's got all that surface area. And honestly, I don't think it vapes any better than a regular ass coil. Maybe that's just me. Oh wait, hold on. Let me power up the SX Mini and wait for about 5 minutes while it comes up. Right. Hold on, wait for it. SX 350. Still waiting. All right.
Were we talking about BIOS and boot screens in the past show?
Yeah. I think that's accurate. Now
we need an American Megatrends, Yeehee Megatrends logo on the front. You could do it.
There you go. Single coil, spitting everywhere, but tasty. Definitely tasty. I just think I'm a more simple man than that. Ooh, so warm.
All right.
So delicious. I'm going to turn that back to standard, I think, at this wattage with fresh batteries.
Simple man, you say.
Here we go. That's better. So there's that. New mods tips. Sean talked about them the other day. He had actually ordered one for me, and I'm going to show this off a little bit. So I did get my Gavin sent back my Zero Pimp sleeve, which is named. He said it looked kind of mossy, so I've dubbed it Moss Isley with 2 S's as a appropriately geeky joke. I've got the velocity on top and this drip tip dough. If you can see this thing shine, like it's got this brown and like bright blue pearly sort of thing going on. It matches this thing perfectly. It looks so good on with the toot. Looks really good on the velocity. I'm zooming back out so nobody freak out. I really like this thing. I'm not personally a big fan. It's actually a brass core. That's not my preferred sort of core for a drip tip, but at least it's not around the coil. It's not getting too hot. I'm not too worried about it at all. But it's a well-made tip. You said this was shorter than most of the ones that you had, right, Sean? I like the height.
Yeah, that one is a bit shorter than the ones that I have.
I'm a big fan of stubby sort of drip tips. Yeah.
So the ones that I have are just slightly taller than that.
Yeah.
But not by much.
By a little. Got a little juice in the mouth. Yeah.
A lot of people were asking in the comments last week. It's Numodz, Numodz. Yes, I blame him for the spelling all the time because it just makes shit more confusing for everybody, and he's all through Facebook. So
he is on Facebook.
There you go.
So well done. Really like that tip. I love the fact that it matches my sleeve. That's the kind of the first like true matchy thing that I've gotten on the Zero, and it's really good. Looks really nice. Next thing I was going to talk about real quickly is inside of here. I have wrapped with anarchist wire.
Oh.
So Homeboy OC was on the show a while back. I ordered some anarchist from Lab Rats, who has started to carry it after he met and hung out with Homeboy and is enjoying the thing himself. So anarchist wire.
Sean's tried it.
I like it a lot, actually.
Foo's tried it, right? No, Foo doesn't have any, but I'm sure it vaped on it.
I think I vaped on it.
So
I use an old extension cord, so.
So here's the thing. I think some of the marketing stuff is accurate. I think it does taste good. It tastes clean. It does warm up faster. It does have a lower resistance for the gauge. This is 26 gauge. I'm definitely having to wrap a couple more than I normally would at a particular thing in order to stay the same resistance. I don't know that it tastes a lot better, but what I do know is it was nice to work with. It was really nice and soft, but not like too soft, and it does taste good. Does take a little bit of monkeying with if you're wrapping. So that's the thing is I feel like I'm using this outside of the recommended spec. Like I'm not the guy that this stuff is probably marketed at. I'm wrapping wrapping dual coils, just dual coils, right? Not no Claptons, no alien fused lawnmower things. I'm just wrapping coils, and it tastes really good, and I like it. It is a little expensive.
It is a little expensive.
It's a little expensive.
But I think it works in the same way that I said with Shadow. Shadow is a little expensive.
Shadow is a little expensive.
Down next to it, it's like, hey, guess what?
I don't know what you want to do. I like the guy. The guy's a nice guy. I like the old boy. I'm not sure I'd pay $1.20 for a foot.
But you pay $1 for a square of cotton.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is the funny thing. So hold on.
Gotcha,
In order to complete the joke, we'll go ahead and swap ourselves over there. There we go. So in order to completely admit that, because you're right, the Shadow I feel like to me it's a significant improvement over regular cotton. I do like it a lot. I think it's really good in here. Now I've only put it in the Velocity so far. I haven't tried it in the Toot. I haven't tried it in the other drippers yet. I just wanted to try to give it a test whirl. The one thing I will say besides it's a little on the expensive side is it seems to make cotton age a little faster than I normally would do. I rewicked this thing probably in 3/4 the time, maybe even half the time that I normally do because it started tasting a little different. I pulled it out. It didn't look any different. It looked actually fine, but it was starting to have a little bit of a flavor, and I wonder if it's just because it heats up so quickly. I wonder if it just needs a little cleansing, dry burn a little bit more often than normal. But the TLDR is, I think Sean's comparison to Shadow is accurate, and I am willing to pay that for Shadow, and I may continue to use this. I'm definitely going to continue to use the ones I bought, and maybe I'll really get to be super addicted other than just saying that I like it.
But put it... I've had it in the nectar for about 2 weeks now. It's just to continue the anarchist wire conversation. And I took it out the other day and I put in Canthal. And I probably vaped on that Canthal for about 30 minutes before I said I feel like I'm broken.
You did. You even said that in chat. You're like, yeah. I think I'm ruined, I think is what you said.
Yeah, I think I'm ruined because I went almost immediately back to anarchist. And I stripped the Canthal build and I went back to anarchist. So today, it was Ubertoot rebuild time, so I decided to rebuild that with Anarchist and give it a shot. And at first, I was really unsure because it's different in a tank like that, right? Mm-hmm. But it's starting to break in now, and it's still pretty enjoyable. And there's a part of me that thinks that much like some cottons, I think it's even the wire is almost juice dependent. I think certain flavors come out crisper on that wire than others. Because I'm still not sure how I like Raspberry on it, but I know like Nola, like that strawberry note, comes out so much better on the Anarchist than it did on Canthal.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I wonder if, because, cotton is juice dependent like that. I don't see why wire couldn't have certain juice dependence.
I don't know if cotton's...
Oh, totally. Dude, something actually I forgot that, something I thought of a few days ago, is... juices. I don't know if I've noticed. For some reason, I'm more likely to burn my cotton vaping certain juices.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure.
Anyone else experienced that? Like I had that experience with my sweet one. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I vape pretty much every setup I have the same way. Oh, is that right?
I feel like, and I'll make the correlation with Raspberry, right? Because Raspberry is something that I'm super familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
When I put Anarchist in the Ubertoot and started vaping it, I got a lot more peppermint than I did mint, or than I did fruit. More so than usual. Like, it was more minty.
I can actually explain that.
Okay.
When you vape raspberry in a dripper, it's way more minty.
Oh, but I've been vaping raspberry in the Ubertoot forever. It's different wire.
No. I'm saying the reason is because I think it heats up faster, like a dripper does. It gets much hotter, much faster, and I feel like that's what brings out that peppermint part.
That could be it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally buy that. I mean, there's no doubt. I think it overall is a great wire. I enjoy it. I think it's nice. It's just one of those things that I think I would have to splurge on versus have all the time in my kit. Well, that and the fact that it's 26 is the thinnest gauge they make. So you're going to be wrapping lower than I normally would probably wrap, unless I make, like in the velocity. It's one of the reasons I put it in here first is because you can make a really wide coil, and there's plenty of room for it.
I got the Ubertoot to 1.27.
Did you really? How many wraps did you put in there for that?
11. Around 3 millimeter.
Dude, see, that's the problem, is that you can do that because tight butthole airflow. Because if you do anything 3 millimeter, like around the toot, that's tight.
Well, it's a 3 millimeter coil. It's the size that I need for the toot. But yeah, I usually do 8 or 9, and it's 11.
Yeah.
But the 11, I mean, the 11 coils on 26 Anarchist is spaced like perfectly for those fucking holes.
Okay.
Spaced.
Right on.
So it went in nice and lit up nice, and it's working a lot better now that it's breaking in.
Sure, and that makes sense. I mean, I usually build my toots with 26 and 10 or 11 wraps myself anyway. So I'm surprised it got that high. I think that's cool. Actually, I hadn't done the extrapolation that I experimented with in the velocity to get there. That's cool. This one's running at 0.52, and I think I have probably, I don't know how many wraps I have in there. I don't remember now.
We should also throw this out there for all the people in CCI who may not have seen Plumes before. We have a segmented show for anybody who's new. So segments, we start, we talk about what we're vaping, we talk about the news a little bit, and then we bring in our guest and we have a chat with him about different stuff. So that's the format for anybody who's new. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, so come back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, not 20 minutes.
Go take a piss.
If you're just waiting for Kurt, you can go take a piss, go take a crap, come back in 20 minutes. Kurt will be here.
Leave us on in the background, and we'll play some nice intro music when he's ready.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tasty. So that's all I have to say about Anarchist Wire. You should definitely try it. You may really love it. I love, a lot of people really like the ramp up speed. Give it a whack. The last thing I have is a picture. Did you grab that, Massey, please? The Instagram picture? That's fine. I will pull it up and share it myself.
I think the chat went down further.
It went down further.
I got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got it.
So this is something I saw on ECR. I think this is hilarious. I don't actually know if it's truly a real product, but everybody knows that you should not drip and drive. There's too much things going on, taking top caps off, bottles off, and the dripping and stuff. This thing is hilarious, and I wanted to show it to everybody. Maybe
right, pulling it up now. What would you call it?
It looks like a bartender's liquor dispenser. Is what it looks like to me.
The drippinator? There we go.
Yeah, the drippinator. So you just pop your drip tip off and then give it a little up bump.
I could see someone still crashing their car doing that because that shit is gonna fall.
Seriously,
because I don't know, like how much force do you have to press on there? That suction cup is. I know some gorilla-ass handed people.
Dude, here's the thing. If you read in the description, I mean, I didn't get the actual description, but the description reads, the Easy Dripper is specifically designed to provide you the easiest way to refill your atomizer. It's mountable on any flat surface, blah, blah, blah. You can also take out the bottle and carry it with you.
Yeah.
Just one pump makes 5 to 12 drops. Don't drip and drive.
Well, that's good.
Drops.
12
drops. I know 12 drops in some addies. This shit's gonna be flowing out the side.
Dude, you know what that'd actually be really cool for? Is a sample station at a shop.
Oh yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. How well does that shut back off? That none of it drips out. Right. So it's on the windshield. and even most places, even if it's cool out, it's gonna get hot as shit in the car.
Yeah.
So
It's in the windshield.
Metal
You're sitting
container,
there-
that's super steeping your juice.
What do you
metal
think?
container.
What happens, Masty, in physics when you have a fixed size container and you increase temperature? What does pressure do? Pressure goes up.
Yeah. So people are gonna go like this, hit that thing, and it's gonna be like a fucking fire hose. Shoot out. It's gonna dump the whole bottle in one pump.
The upside,
Excited juice bottle.
yeah. The upside is at least here in Texas it doesn't get hot, and that wouldn't happen at all. Oh wait, it was 400 million degrees last weekend, and that would have been a fire hose.
Shit, it would have. If the GPS shuts off because of high temperature. Shit.
So if anybody's looking for this thing on Instagram, it's the letter Z, cloud_company. EZ cloud_company is the name of the thing. You can see a picture of it, and I don't know, order one if you really want to try it out. Let us know how it works if you do. That's all I've got. Sean, you're up.
All right.
For the love of Christ, don't
Start
especially
with vape maily things first. Yeah. So I got one kind of interesting, kind of fun thing in this week that will be making the rounds through the Plumes house, and it's this.
Woo!
Look at that. Look at that blue. Look at that fucking design. So now to go over to.
So is that a dinosaur skull screaming or something? I can't tell.
It's a normal skull screaming.
Oh, it's a normal. I was looking at it this way. It's not. It's looking this way. Okay.
And then if I go over to the chip there, that's a MyTex switch with the SX Mini, and 2 little tack up and down buttons. Pop off the. Jesus Christ, this thing's on so good. So these are all custom milled boxes, and the magnets are strong as fuck. By the way, there's the inside. So
Look how
this,
clean that is.
yeah. Well, no wonder why. Come on.
Uh-huh.
So this is a 150 watt SX Mini J mod. That's a bit smaller than a V-Box. Personal opinion, still a little bit too big. Just a little bit. No price yet. Which, man, well, I mean, good to know that now, yeah. But they're all, correct me if I'm wrong here, Mass, because you know more about this than I do. They're all hand airbrushed, and then
So they use all the boxes will be different designs. It's hydro dipped, and then the accents are added via airbrushing. So let's say for example that pattern there was a white hydro dip. Everything was white, and then all the shadows and the colors and stuff were added with airbrushing.
And it's very shiny. It's
Yeah.
all very shiny. Like even the white has a shine and a tint to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically just taking the project box to the next level, right? And a lot of people have done it. Craving Vapor's done it with the Hexomes. The Beast Mode boxes have kind of done it. It's taking that general box, having something custom milled so it looks better, and just taking it to another level. And it's a really cool piece. It's a really original looking thing with the designs that are on them. It's the Renegade X box mod.
Is that a MyTech switch?
It is a MyTech switch.
It is.
Sweet.
At this point, man, it's MyTech switch or bust. If you don't have a MyTech switch, I don't care about you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or comparable. None of those big horn buttons anymore.
Hashtag P9 for life.
P9 for life.
But so these are going to be available relatively soon, right, from Veritube?
Yep.
And this is a beta unit, so there will be a few changes. I think the box will be a little bit smaller. The 510 will be milled in, so there will be a few changes that'll be really nice in the final version. But right now, this is a beta model, and it's been fun to use over the last couple days. I'm enjoying it. So, all right, I'm gonna save the other one for last. So I just posted a picture a minute ago, Mass, of the Gem RTA. You want to share that?
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
So
which one is that?
the Gem RTA is like all the rage right now. Like it is going to be the rage.
The last-
of the little tank atomizer.
Who's everyone?
The last one, yeah.
Okay.
All them high-end boys. They're all
Yeah, all
talking
them
about
high-end guys. This is like the rage.
All right. And
Gem RTA.
here
So-
it goes.
That's the Gem RTA, and It's an interesting. It's a very interesting Addy to me, and it's Mark Bugs, so it's titanium, meaning it's going to be light.
Yeah.
It's probably going to function pretty well. I have a Chalice V3 from Mark Bugs, and it functions great.
It's Mark Bugs, so it's going to be bead blasted or media blasted and shiny it too.
It's Mark Bugs, so it's going to be too small. So it's going to be like 19 millimeters.
Yeah, it's going to be 20 millimeters.
It's
21. Wait, it's 21, right?
Here's my I think my biggest issue with this thing, though. It really, really looks like a damn Clearo.
Yeah, it does.
Masty or overlay.
Yeah, for an over $200 tank, it really looks like a Clearo.
I thought it was like something Inokin made.
Yeah, me too. When I first saw it, I honestly thought like Inokin made that. So
it's a nice tank. The drip tip's a little long for me, but
it's I think the same drip tip that comes with the Chalice, and it is replaceable. But I don't know if I can get. I don't know if I don't like the way that looks at all.
You take that and this. I'll take this every day.
The Silo Beast, absolutely.
Personally.
I'll take the Ubertude, I'll take the Rose, I'll take pretty much any. I just do not like the way that looks.
Mm-mm. It's the and this is coming from somebody who's a titanium freak. I love titanium. A lot of my EDC stuff is titanium because it's awesome. It's hard, it's light, it's cool.
Not your wire.
But not my wire. That's right, not my wire. And not when it's been media blasted plus polished. It doesn't look nice. It doesn't look like the price point I am sure this costs because it's Mark Bugs. It's not going to be $99.
It's going to be over $200.
Yeah.
And the people have them, and I should really know the price because I'm talking about it, but I decided to talk about it last minute, so.
So there.
Yeah. But I do have something that I do really like, and that's really cool to chat about. And at some point, this guy has agreed to come on the show. Do you want to queue up the next set of images of the mod?
Okay.
So this isn't a mod guy, and I just want to kind of have a chat because there's a lot of high-end mod stuff, and I'm a high-end mod guy. I like really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, out of everything that I've seen recently, this guy makes really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is gorgeous.
Yep.
So what's even more important is you want to scroll through and get me the wiring picture?
I'll go to the next one, which is this one.
So the first is a honeycomb. That's just a regular stab wood, and then the third picture, and this is where I speak really highly of the guy, and this is why I decided to show it on the show because, expensive stuff oftentimes is not made as well as it should be for what you pay. It's not wired well. It's filled with hot glue. It's something that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's fucking beautiful.
It is.
So what's even cooler is that clip inside the frame pops off, and you can buy new bodies to put on your frame. And he's going to sell new bodies, and I think he's like $500 for the mod together, and you'll be able to get a new body for like between $100 and $200.
It's like $500 for the body or for the mod with one of those nice bodies.
Yeah.
You get it for a little bit less with just an aluminum one.
Sure, and
that still looks nice too.
New bodies.
Yeah.
And you can replace your body, so it kind of takes like the 0 plus stabilized wood, and it's just his work is gorgeous. Like that is the kind of work that I expect from a mod that costs in that price range.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's not something that I see very often.
How's the booty?
So I have to give major props to Kudzu Mods.
I'll zoom in on the side.
That one in particular is just gorgeous. Yeah. It looks a little bit like Hawaii, actually, to me.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. So I wanted to spotlight that because I know we do have some high-end mod lovers who watch the show. I know that it's not for everybody, but for anybody who's interested in this kind of stuff, I think you should be on the lookout for him because I think his stuff is really nice. Lastly, this one's gonna be fun. I got one more picture there, Masty, the Imgur link. So over the past couple weeks. Yeah, so over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of interesting things happening in vaping. We've seen lawsuits, we've seen companies suing reviewers, we've seen all different kinds of stuff, and now we've taken one more step towards the over-commercialized, almost correlation to medical, in the fact that now we have a company that has sent reviewers on a cruise and made them cakes that look like horribly terrifying versions of their face.
That vape,
yeah, the cakes vape. That's really interesting to me, right? Like, it's really interesting that a vape company would send a bunch of reviewers on a cruise. That's a really interesting concept to me because that really kind of rings very closely to things that we've seen in other industries as ways to kind of gain favor, especially for a company that's not in high favor.
Heavy duty kickbacks.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, right? Like I'm really unsure how I feel about the concept of that. I'm really unsure. I mean, I can't blame anybody for taking the free cruise. It's a free cruise. Fuck it.
It's YOLO, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a cruise. Fuck it, take a cruise. But I mean, the cakes are just terrifying, and I'm really curious what's going to come out of it because I'm really curious, what they
I want a cake of my
buying a
face.
cruise for.
Yeah, I want a vaping cake on my face.
Seriously.
I don't want one that looks like that. That's terrifying.
No, I totally want that, man.
I want one that shoots lasers out of the eyes too.
Look, I come from a long line of my name getting misspelled when at restaurants and names in the order. What the fuck is a chopped up version of my face in a cake?
I don't have
Hashtag waxy.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say on that.
Nick says on the plus side, Matt looks way less than for him.
But I don't have anything else to say about it. It's very interesting to me, and I'm curious if something like this will become a trend. This is the first time I've heard of anything like this happening. I'm very curious if it will become a trend and if we're going to move into that stage of the vaping industry.
Mayhap.
Yeah.
Mayhap. I think we're going to start getting riots here pretty quick in the forums if we don't get our guests on.
They want the pickle man. So real quick, my news. Oh, Sean just dropped and
I'm back. We're good.
Okay.
Start.
Were you done with your news, Sean?
Yeah, I'm done. You're up.
Okay, so mine's pretty quick. I didn't have much. I just wanted to show. Let me clear all these images out of here. Something that I saw this week. This guy, and this was more last week. This tank showed up, which they're calling the aquarium tank, aka X Tank 4.0. This is just like that rebuildable tank that we saw a few weeks back that came out, but this one you can't rebuild. This one uses pre-built coils. And they kind of made fun of how you fill it, with the little ring. So it reminded me of the old school, the old school, O-ring games they used to play. So, anyways, I just saw, and obviously that's a clone of a I forget
Holy Land mods.
But yeah, Holy Land mods, rebuildable. So, anyways, that one obviously uses pre-built coils, but I saw today that, and I don't know if I think this is a screen cap of that. There's a site that actually just ripped off directly the images right off of Holy Land's page, and they're selling their $24.99 is the clone by Tobacco, I think. And, that's just, the image of the site that I grabbed. But, yeah, they didn't even put up their own images. So, I guess that'll be coming out here pretty soon. And that's a pretty good-sized tank. But, it'll be interesting to see what that is. And, obviously, Holy Land is out of stock. So that makes it even more tempting for people to go buy that other one. And last thing was, man, do you guys remember? Let's take a trip back in time a few years. Y'all remember this chart? Y'all remember this chart?
Absolutely.
6.5 ohms, bro. The ohms, I tell you. This is the the power measurement, suggested power measurement chart that was, it's got your resistance in the ohms of here, and then your volts at the top. And, the green is, as you can see, is the just right area. So, this is all backwards here on my camera, so it's kind of hard to read. But
You got
you know,
it.
you can see that the green, the green area, and then you always see the red. Too hot, you're gonna burn. Pretty much, you're gonna burn any cartridge that you have. So it's kind of interesting to see how far to the left I say this is shifted, and how I don't even know anyone who builds 6-ohm coils.
I don't know anybody who vapes at 3 volts either.
You do, Sean.
I was gonna say you do when you're if you were to vape nickel, you can get it pretty low.
What are you at?
True. I'm at 4.7 volts.
Quiet.
Not sure if a fart or if hip hop air horn. But yeah, so this is just kind of neat. Figured bring that up, because this was really what everyone went by just a few years ago.
It was not long ago. I remember when I first started, when I got my first dripper, my first rebuildable, it was a dripper, and I wrapped it, and it was kind of really terribly unsatisfying in the green area. So I started, messing around with the VAMO and getting it ramped up higher and higher. And eventually, when I found out that it was good, I was well within the red zone, and I was concerned about it. And I remember asking somebody at a B&M and going, "Hey, this chart that everybody uses is wrong to me with the rebuildable. Am I doing something wrong?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, throw that away." I was
I
like,
remember the first time I ever ignored that on a Clero, and it was magical.
Yeah. I followed this to a T, and I'm like, man, this shit don't taste right.
Yeah.
And then I just started doing it to flavor and taste, and what tasted good, and I'm like, I would fight myself because I go back and look at this, I'm like, but I'm in the wrong area. Why is that? And the ohms are just not so. There you have it. It was a good starting point, though. Trying to keep people from melting their face off with,
And now we're trying to encourage people to melt their face off.
I remember I hit I had a tester at a con, and I hit a mesh cardo. Oh my god, I got a dry hit. That was so. There you go. All right, let's bring in the Pickle Man before we get World Star up in here.
Guest time. Do you have music?
I think so. Yeah, I do. Let me know when you're ready.
Go for it.
Okay, here he comes. Now, from the left corner. Okay, we're gonna get cease and desist now.
Right.
It is YouTube.
You guys are going to get yourselves in trouble.
Hi, Kurt.
Hi, guys. Before we get started, I would like to thank the Whiffs of Caution for having me on here. I know they put a lot of effort into getting me here, so thank you for that.
How did he get the heart? Like, seriously.
I made him that.
Yep. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
Kurt's gone from looking pretty decent. Like he was an HD earlier, and now he's a potato.
Fuck you guys.
All I'm going to say is after spending time with Kurt in person, be really happy you have a computer screen separating you.
You know what? I did nothing worse to you than I did to Nick, so remember that. It could always be worse.
Put it this way: if Kurt was a boxer, he'd be known as Gaseous Clay.
He did go over his diet earlier, and it did not sound like something to lead to a healthy bowel.
Was it meat and meat and meat and meat?
Seriously. No, seriously, I am picking up beef jerky for the website. I kid you not. I'm going to have that shit stacked so deep back here.
What do you do, teriyaki or just the regular or the hot?
No, so we found this website, alright? It's pretty fucking awesome. They have all the weird stuff. So alligator, kangaroo, boar, buffalo, the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I can get it at a price where I can sell for $2 a stick. And that's probably going to pass up all of my other sales, realistically speaking.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So wait, before we get too far down the beef jerky or meat jerky route, tell everybody who you are and what you do, Kurt.
Okay, so my name is Kurt Loblick. Who the fuck is so loud? Maybe it's me. My apologies. I'm hearing echo. It's really annoying. Anyway, my name is Kurt Loblick. I am the owner of Cloud Chasers Inc., which is a Facebook group, branding. Yeah, thank you. So basically, we cater to the cloud chasers, so the people who like dripping and who like getting the biggest clouds humanly possible. That is what I do.
More importantly, because there's such a big scene now around cloud chasing, and if memory serves, you were one of the first people to kind of start that movement in that scene.
I wasn't necessarily the first, but I was with a bunch of other people, and we really got the ball rolling in that direction, whereas we kind of teamed up and we really started advertising that cloud chasing isn't as dangerous as everyone thought it was. People used to think that, one, either you're going to blow your face off, or two, that they would always ask the question is, can you even taste your juice? Which obviously we know now that that's completely irrelevant, but because back when we started doing this, I mean, 0.8 was dangerously low for some people, so we really got rid of that notion.
Yeah,
I
0.8.
want to know. I want to know what's wrong with your hat.
What's wrong with my hat? It says Cloud Chasers on it.
It's
It's
doesn't
flat.
It fits well.
Fuck you guys.
It's funny, man. We had Homeboy Ock on a couple weeks ago.
Is this better for you guys?
That's much better, yeah. Except it's flat. And that's a
Yeah.
No, he
Put your mod on.
looks proper.
No.
But yeah, we had Homeboy Ock on, and we were talking about the cloud chasing scene and him being a coil builder and stuff, and we were talking about, can you taste your juice? And his response was, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I taste it or not. I just want big clouds.
Yep.
I mean, you could just vape straight VG for that, I guess. But I tried that for a while. It's pretty nauseating after 5 minutes.
He's like, I can't even build macros anymore.
Yeah, you know, and that's
He did say that.
because
Normal coils.
He said he couldn't do parallels. I was very surprised.
Right.
What?
So you have kind of come from like this Facebook group, this idea, and you started drilling out holes in atomizers, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it started, yeah.
And now Juice Line, your own atomizers.
Mods, the whole 9 yards, yeah. Yeah, it started off with a Patriot clone group buy that basically I ordered like 100 or 200 of these things and was drilling them out in my basement at home. It was fun. Actually, it was miserable, but it was probably, because you think we were drilling out 8 holes per side with a 16th inch drill bit, so it was probably like 5 to 10 minutes per atomizer.
Did you have a press?
Yeah, I had a press, but it was a Harbor Freight press, so you have to. Yeah, I mean, I'd be better off drilling it by hand, but no, I mean, you'd have to estimate where you wanted the hole to actually go and where you were going down on, because you knew that it was going to slide over, 30 seconds of an inch as soon as you put that down. So.
Kind of like that walking bit, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is a guy who's legitimately gone from drilling out holes in atomizers with a cheap press to being probably the richest 12-year-old in vaping.
Yeah, you're edging a Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Once again, I hate you guys.
We don't hate you.
No, I just hate you. It doesn't have to be mutual.
It's
right.
not mutual.
Yeah.
After all those special moments we had when you were in Maryland, man, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, VG Cloggin said I've been watching Kurt since he was setting MNKs on fire in the snow. Yep, I remember that video. It was good times. I had no idea what was going to happen, so I dressed up in like full camo gear. I had these baller shades with these little lights on the side of them, and I ran away like 40 feet back to nothing happening. So what I did is I took like an old Diablo mod. I removed the insulators at the bottom, and I put an MNK in there, 0.09 or 0.06 build, and just set it down, let it auto fire. I was hoping the mod would blow up. Well, actually, I was hoping it wasn't, because then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. But nothing happened. It was pretty uneventful.
We had a very similar 26650 vent test. Plumes.
It's pretty boring, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it is. When the battery reacts how you don't expect it to, you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, it was stupid. I'm honestly,
in it or something.
it was a waste of an iGoatee, to be completely realistic. I mean,
Can you really waste an goatee?
hey man, back in the day, the iGoatee was a shit unless you wanted to drill it out, because God, it was terrible to drill out. It was awful.
It's a solid, thick-ass titanium cap.
Yeah.
You know how many carbide drill bits I went through just drilling these stupid things out. It was awful.
I would give up on people. They'd bring them to me to drill out, and I had a bottle of some nasty ass mint juice out there, and I would just squirt juice on it as it was cutting. Instead of cutting fluid, I just did that and they were a pain in the ass to freaking drill.
So I used to work at a brick and mortar, and we had, we had titanium bits. We didn't even have cobalt or any. I mean, it was awful. There were times where it would take you 45 minutes to drill one hole out. It was awesome. It was
very efficient.
Jesus.
And then you drill the hole out and you hand it back to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, it needs to be bigger than that."
So the problem is what was worse is when you drill a hole out for somebody and they hit it and they go, "Oh no, that's too big."
It's like there's no going back.
Yeah,
You can't go back.
Well, no. The best was when that happened, and some shops would just take a self-tapping screw and put a screw in there. I've seen it. There's pictures out there. You had 2 screws in the addies, and then they were like, they got away from that, and then they try to do grub screws. You try to screw a grub. I'm like, come on, just throw the fucking cap away.
No.
So-
Scotch tape, man. You just cover that hole up and then just.
So I suppose we should also ask, what are you vaping on that keeps you at the top of the vape game?
Nightshade.
Mod, Addy.
Okay, so the atomizer that I have on here is one of my new ones. This is called the Centurion. It is a 30 millimeter atomizer. You can go to the website if you want to look it up. I really don't care. And then the box mod that I have here. Bro, I don't need to mark it. Come on now. And then the box that I have here is brand new. I'll be releasing it at ECC. This is a triple parallel box mod, fully mechanical switch. So screw you guys and your MOSFETs and all your other mumbo jumbo nonsense.
Dude, if you get a fully mechanical switch, there's no crucifixions for not having a MOSFET.
Exactly.
Okay, so I had someone message me today about the box because I posted a picture of something. He goes, "So does that have a MOSFET in there?" I said, "No, it has a mechanical switch." He goes, "Dude, that sucks. Why would you do that?" Like, this is a mechanical switch, sweetheart. It's gonna be okay, I promise. And he was trying to argue with me about why I needed a MOSFET. I said, no, I don't. First off, you don't need one anyway, as long as you don't mind replacing switches every 15 minutes. But and sometimes you just give up with conversations. It just happens.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the thing, because we definitely pushed the whole need to have a MOSFET thing, but I think people kind of missed the fact that was when you're using those little cheapo 2 amp switches that
in a particular configuration.
You leave my anti-vandal switches alone, okay? They work great.
Man, I took them off an elevator push button, so it's got to have at least like 2 amps.
Yeah, man, it takes a lot of power. You hit that button, and that button powers the elevator. The whole
it can lift like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. Dude, it's tough action because, as I said earlier, you got some gorilla ass handed people.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny though is how the times have changed, right? I just remember a few episodes ago that we were getting hated on for pointing out that things didn't have MOSFETs in them because you were using the eBay switches, and now people are going the other direction. eBay and Amazon switches that are rated for 50 amp, and they're really, maybe an amp at most.
Right.
Yo, my switch is rated at 5,000 amps, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been looking for a new circuit breaker. Mine's only 200.
You know what's funny too is I think now a lot of users are maybe not ever even using a mech, and people who've had mechs who had the old school mechs with straight copper buttons and that maybe weren't making a good connection. You can remember hot buttons. Them suckers would get hot as shit. That's resistance. That's losing power. That's a straight up mechanical button. And people that who've never used a mech or had to deal with one about cleaning the contacts, doing all that, won't know. So
if you look, dude, I'm telling you, if you look really closely, this new CCI box, it has the CCI logo on the button, and it's designed to super hot button, so you brand your thumb.
Unfortunately, the only problem with that is that the final design is going to have it's going to be plastic instead of metal for the actual button itself, so that you can't hot button because the actual connection, it's not going to be positive grounded. So we're sorry, sweetheart.
Oh, no thumb branding.
You
Sorry.
don't want
Yeah.
people
Somewhere
putting so you don't want people putting a screwdriver to your Addy to fire it.
Right.
No, okay, so here's what's cool about this one actually is, so I'm gonna hurt myself here and whatever, shit happens, YOLO. Okay, so, alright, so screwdriver to Eddie, right? Alright, we good. Now if I do this, hold on, let me, oh god. Oh, it's not doing it now. It was doing it, oh, I gotta do it this way. Okay, hold on. And this is why we're changing it, because it fucking hurts. It's not doing it now, son of a bitch. Oh, there it goes. So, that's why.
Wait, hold on.
I'm Johnny Knoxville.
Put him back up. Put him back up.
No, that hurts. That fucking hurts.
Hold on. I can fix this shit. Hang on a second. Let's see. So let's do that, and then let's do this.
What are you doing?
Let's go here, and let's do that. And now let's go ahead and okay. Now you can go ahead and do it.
No.
So yeah, people don't try that because he just hard-shouldered that.
But we just learned today that you have to do button. Oh, I fucking arced my button. Oh well. You have to go button to atomizer, not atomizer to button. So there's that. If you somehow get a hold of this prototype, which there's 2 in existence, well, there's 3 in existence. You got to go button first, then atomizer, not vice versa. I don't know, science.
Science. Well, I will say this is one of the more interesting Plumes episodes that we've had so far, and for one particular reason, I don't remember the last time I was called sweetheart this many times by another man. This is pretty impressive. It's new to me. New to me.
Just wait until I start calling you Boo Boo and Bay.
Oh boy.
He will.
Or we're getting Preston Kite up in
If
here.
he was in person, he'd try to grab your junk too.
There's a good chance I'd kiss you on the neck as well. Sorry,
Better
Nick.
move fast, man.
Easy there, Tuts.
So how long ago was it, Kurt, that you were drilling out addies in your basement? How long has it been since you started?
About a year and 4 months.
Okay. Because I was
I thought it was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot longer than that. I thought it was. Yeah. I was going to ask about just because of the name, how much hate must follow with people thinking that sub-ohming is dumb and all that, especially calling it cloud chasing.
People
But
think
now,
sub-ohming is dumb.
obviously, yeah. There's whole groups for it, but hey, there's groups for everything. But now it's a staple of a convention, right? To even have a cloud competition. And some of the prizes are getting. I saw one that was like what 10, 15 grand.
It was the Suicide Bunny Cloud Comp. It was it last night or 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, I think. Where Nick Green, not you, Nick. Sorry, buddy. But the other Nick Green from Dallas won $15,000. Yeah.
15 grand in the cloud competition.
And that's not the first time they've done that down here either.
No.
They had another one that was 10 or 15 a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up, Ruby. No, so you think a year ago. The whole reason why we started the group is because me, Leo, Tucker, Yosh, we were all guys that were cloud chasing, and we were getting so much hate, particularly in Juice Junkies, because that's where we were all hanging out doing cloud videos and stuff. So we all came together and we're like, screw this. We're gonna go make our own group. We're gonna teach about sub-ohming and how to do it safely. And prior to that, there was no group really dedicated to sub-ohming. There was no group dedicated to cloud chasing. So it really, blew up seemingly overnight. We experienced like 2 big jumps in members. The first was when I was banned from Juice Junkies by an admin. And yeah, Juice Junkies was rioting for about 24 hours. That was a fun experience. CCI, we went from 600 members to about 1,800 in about 6 hours. And then there was
the problem? Did you get banned because you weren't talking about boiling enough? Isn't that the only thing you're allowed to talk about in that group?
Okay, so Juice Junkies. Basically, what would happen is during the day we'd be nice, we'd help people out and answer questions, but at night we would hijack threads, where we would just go pick a random dead thread and we would just start commenting. We'd have 1,000, 2,000 comments deep. Just the group of us. There'd be 40 or 50 of us hanging out. So one day I chose a thread that apparently wasn't dead enough, and the guy came in, complained to one of the admins, and she banned me. which at that point it was funny because everyone was trying to get have me brought back in. People were actually giving me their Facebook info so I could log in under their account and then go back in there and participate again. There were many memes that were generated of this admin, which I don't want to bring up tacos and Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, but that was a fun one for those of you who remember. So that's kind of how that happened, and then we were growing, and then obviously I got in bed with Rip Trippers for an undisclosed amount.
It wasn't an amount; it was a percentage, right?
No.
Oh, it was an amount.
My attorneys advised me that I should not speak about this matter.
We'll go back and edit it.
No.
Right. Yeah, cut that shit out.
This is
Anyway,
live. We can't do that.
oh, we're good. Whatever, as long as it's not recorded
It's that
after
too.
the fact. Well, no, I'll just cut it out for the recording, so then I'm okay, because then they can't really prove it. It's all hearsay. I'll be fine. Just make sure there's no actual documentation. Anyway, but the other part was when
This is fine.
this is Plumes of Hazard. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Nobody watches this. It's so funny. With the mute.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, the other time where we really grew in numbers was when Rip did the first video, the Cloud Chasing 101, which we grew like 4,000 members in 24 hours because obviously it's Rip Trippers. Bring back Nancy. No. I'm sorry. Does she still exist? Is she anywhere? I haven't seen Nancy in a while.
I
Or heard
don't
her.
know. It's an inside joke I'm not a part of.
Well, we're talking about somebody in chat was saying bring back Nancy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
saw
so
that. I don't know.
Nancy was the admin that banned me. And she went as far as contacting the old shop I worked for and telling them they should fire me because I'm an asshole. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, blame her.
Yeah, I mean, in her defense, I am a bit of an asshole. But anyway, so yeah, that's CCI, and kind of how we came to where we are today is I had nothing to do with it. Rip Trippers did it all. He actually owns CCI, and that's that. I'm just a face because we all know that he can't come out and say hello to people. So that's what I, that's what I do.
You are the face behind the face.
So they pick someone with a completely opposite kind of face. You're the baby-faced arm.
Right.
He could hurt nobody. He gives lollipops to children.
And he's sponsored by Domino's and Kraft Mac and Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That is what.
What do you got? Where are you at right now? Are you in the headquarters?
Headquarters? You kidding me?
Yeah.
It's like a secondary basement to me.
Yeah.
I'm like slowly moving. Yeah.
You went from shipping stuff out of a basement to shipping stuff out of a basement.
No. The shipping happened in my bedroom. I did all the drilling in the basement because my parents didn't want me to get metal shavings in the carpet.
I'm glad that wasn't backwards. Drilling in the bedroom and shipping in the basement.
No, Rip Trippers does not own CCI.
This is one of the most active people to chat that we've had in a long time. Most people just ignore it like us.
I mean, I'm reading 2%, cash deals only. Some more 2% was thrown in there.
How do they know what kind of milk I drink?
I fucked her last week.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Welcome to CCI, guys. Well, that's Flitz, so I expect that from him.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go from drilling out stuff to how many addies have you put out now?
Like, how many total atomizers have I sold? How many atomizers did I drill out?
How many unique ones do you have out?
How many atomizers do I have out, too?
Okay.
How many mods? Jinx.
How many mods? I don't know. Well, there's the ABS, the CCI ABS box, which we all know is an ABS box by Sigreen. But you pay extra because there's a CCI logo on it.
He's honest.
That's worth at least another 50 cents.
He's honest about it. Man.
Actually, we were able to charge $5 more than standard pricing because I had them throw a voltmeter in there, so justifiable. We all need the voltmeter. No, so I have the CCI ABS box. I have the CCI Tank Mod V2, which is a glorified Panzer clone, but I actually discontinued that. I have like none left. So then there's that. I have this box mod here. I had a couple other box mods. I have some more box mods. I have here's something interesting. I have a 25.4 millimeter mod coming out. It's an interesting, different way to do it. It is going to be a hybrid mod, I guess you can say, where the atomizer that comes with it is actually going to have a 1/4-inch positive contact straight to the battery, and it's also going to come with a top cap adapter for people who would like to use their standard 510 atomizers. So that's something different. 25.4 millimeters is 1 inch, by the way. So that's where we came up with that number. So that's going to be an interesting mod that we have coming out here pretty soon. Once again, it's going to be relatively inexpensive, and because that's what I do. I sell shit for cheap because.
What material is that mod that you have there made out of? Is it aluminum? Is it billet aluminum or?
I don't know. I don't design stuff. I just pay people to put my logo on stuff.
Well, you put out juice too. What's the deal with your juice? And it's got a very particular. Well, at least the Cloud Chasers incline has a very particular set of names.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I just pick random names in my head, just random things that come to me late at night.
Yeah, I know. You named them after a game you play with your friends during lunch.
Yeah, well, yeah, I am 12, so yes. Yeah, so the juice, the e-liquid are reminiscent of a game that I played in my childhood. I haven't played it in a while, though. I'll have although honestly going back to
3 weeks.
It's been a little bit longer than 3 weeks. Okay, I can't get the ROM to work on Windows 8, so I'm having issues here. But still, yeah, the names are all considered Pokemon moves. I'm not saying that. Someone else is saying it for me. Because I've never advertised them as such. That's the one thing I always made sure I never did, is I didn't say, like, hey, these are Pokemon moves, you should buy it because Pokemon. It's always just, I come out with the names, and people just figured it out on their own. And
I was under the assumption that the flavor metronome is named after the thing that keeps your tempo.
Yeah, and Nightshade is a deadly flower, isn't it, or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hydro Pump is something to do with showers.
It's firefighters.
Yeah, sure, that one. Okay. So, yeah, we good. I can play it off however I want.
Any case, if you like to drip at high power and you don't like to pay a lot of money for juice, because I like to drip, I burned through most of the CCI juice myself, and I don't feel guilty when I go through 20 mils in a day.
Oh, hold on. I have to answer a question that was brought up to me in this chat. I didn't do it. It is how I'm going to say it. It wasn't me. It was presented to me by my manufacturer, and I said, yeah, sure, pull the trigger. So I didn't actively go out of my way.
You can say the question.
Oh, okay. So Cisco wants to know why you cloned the Velocity deck for the new Addy. And technically speaking, it is my old Addy. It is the Archon. Everything that we do is upgradable. I don't sell versions, I don't sell versions. I sell upgrades. So everything is upgradable, interchangeable. So this new deck that's coming out is going to be a 2-post deck. Sorry that I didn't come out with it first. Sorry, buddy. But welcome to capitalism at its finest. If you don't patent it, then people are going to take it.
Yeah.
But no, people were asking for it, and instead of me coming out with an Archon V2 with a new deck, I could just sell a deck for $20 instead. There's nothing wrong with that.
I actually had seen that. That's something that's a normal business thing that you do. You sell the upgradable thing.
Yes. So the Archon RDA, all of the stuff that I've released for it have been upgrades instead of new versions. So we have the 2-post deck coming out. We had a T-post that you could replace the standard center post for, just because why sell a new atomizer with a new post when I could literally sell them the post for $5. They have basically to them a brand new atomizer, but it costs them a bunch less.
It's the epitome of replace. You're pretty much taking replaceable parts to the next level. It's like, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Buy a new top cap. Don't buy a whole new Addy. Get a new deck.
Yeah, so the Archon, we're coming out with a new airflow where it's going to be the slots instead of holes for people who want a little bit more airflow because they're rocking series builds. There's no reason for me to charge them $40 for a whole new atomizer when they have a perfectly good functioning one at home.
So it's like modular Addy design, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And the great thing about it is that as new things come out, people want it, then I can easily have that done. Sure, you can say that I'm a thief and I'm stealing ideas, but you look at damn near every atomizer out there, you can only get so creative. You really can, and that's where some of my other products come into play. Where the HSB, before the HSB existed, there was nothing like it. Sure, people. What's the HSB?
Oh, okay. I think I know which one that is. Yeah.
So this box mod here, I bet you R510 gets cloned. That people are going to replicate. Am I going to get mad at them and say, "Hey, you're a thief for stealing"? No, I really don't care. Like, do whatever you want. If I. Particularly, the only thing that I care about is if someone owns intellectual property, if they own the patent, if they own the trademark, if they own the copyright, don't touch it. That's theirs. It belongs to them. But if you, as a business owner, make the decision that you don't want to protect your product, it is free game. It's fair game for anyone as long as they were not an employee of you and didn't steal your ideas from you.
Yeah. And that's another view. That's why we have different people, different views.
Yep.
On things, so
we keep it going.
Now that Addy that you have there, you said it was triple 18650s.
The mod? Yeah, this is actually triple 18650. So let me pop out the batteries real quickly.
Damn, that lid is loud.
It was.
that's a heavy duty lid.
Your RIP in peace headphones, man.
Yeah. So the battery contacts, they're screws. So that's how they're adjustable. It's not spring on anything like that.
Just from the bottom.
Yep. Then you just take out the batteries here, so you've got the one in the back here, and then you just put the other two in. So it's a real piece of cake. Now this prototype here, there's a screw. It's going to be changeable rivet, so it makes the back battery easier to get in and out. Because right now it's kind of a fight. But that's why you prototype things and test things because you can't just be launching products without ever testing and playing with them.
Now, did you come up with a design on that one?
I have the CAD drawings on my computer.
Cool.
So.
That does not answer the question.
Did I design it? No, because I don't know how to use CAD, but I have someone local to me who is a mechanical engineer, and he worked with the manufacturer that we have, and they built it together.
Is that a triangular design?
Yeah.
I like.
It's very ergonomically friendly. Like, it fits so well in your hand. It is lightweight because this one is aluminum, but it's got all copper internals. I think we're going to do... actually, they're all copper plated or silver plated copper right now, rather. But we may change that up a little bit. It does have a locking ring as well, so that's nice.
Yeah. Is that lid magnetic too? Is that popping on there with magnets?
Yeah, it's a magnetic door.
Yeah. Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting design. And when he's holding it like that, you can tell it really fits.
Yeah, it's really comfortable because everybody and their mother has a square box now. You look at all the Hammonds, and now you have the people who are, milling their own boxes, which they're Hammonds. They're just not Hammonds. So, it's a completely different look. It's a completely different feel. And honestly, I was really impressed with how this came out just because obviously, as everyone knows, I do all my manufacturing in China. So the first time you get a product, it's kind of, we don't really know what you're going to get. But I was really, really happy with this. And honestly, just looking at it, you could not tell that this was manufactured in China. So, but the price point will obviously reflect that as well. I'm not going to go and pay $50 for a box and charge $700 for it. That's not how I am.
China's like a box of chocolates.
First time when you first, I didn't know that he was going to have this mod on the show, but first time he held that up, it reminded me, and I'm trying to pull up the image. It reminded me of this mod here. No, actually, no, not at all. Nothing vapor related. It reminded me of this right here on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
That's a Traxxas. That's a Traxxas Easy Start for your RC enthusiast. So when I saw him holding it up, I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? So, but it's kind of
but
that's that same kind of shape.
Well, that one doesn't blow clouds, bro.
Nope, not at all.
We can make it work. Come on, people are converting everything into box mod nowadays.
So what's your battery life been like with 3 batteries as opposed to 2?
Well, these are the doo-doo brown, the LGs, the 3,000 mAh ones. So it's.
Doo-doo brand.
I mean, if I could legitimately put these on my website as doo-doo browns, I would. Because I have no idea. I don't even know what their model
How are those
number is.
batteries? I've been thinking about getting them.
Just put them in double quotes, just like that's your nickname for them.
I like them a lot, actually. I've been using them because I have the HSB, which is 6 batteries, and then I have this one. Well, I have a million mods, but these are the only 2 I use.
Show us your 6 battery box, please. I vaped off this thing. I vaped off it at Vape Bash, the Vapors Knoll Party, Pittsburgh, and it just never gets any easier.
I was at the bar last night, and everyone wanted to pass it around. It was pretty funny to watch.
Well, shit, it's like...
You ain't got to worry about somebody putting it in their pocket. That's
like
it
needs
I can't even put it in my pocket.
It needs its own satchel.
What?
It needs its own satchel.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you know, and I had a bunch of these made back in the day, and that was a disaster because the guy was a flake. So I won't ever do them again, but it's a nice little showpiece. I have one of them is being converted to lipo. So.
That thing has a weight of 10 pounds.
How many lipos?
Yeah.
2 2200 mAh, yeah.
You know, it's surprising to me how many people don't pocket a vape device, actually. I found that out. Whenever somebody says, what do you think about something, I say, I don't know, it's not really very pocket-friendly. Oh, I never put my mod in my pocket anyway. I refuse to put my mod in my pocket. What the fuck is the point?
Here's something I don't like, is sitting with a mod in my pocket. When I sit down, I hate, like the flask is, that's what I love about it, is that I can put it in my front pocket and...
Sure, and when I sit, I take my mod out of my pocket, but when I'm walking around, or like if I'm going somewhere,
in my back pocket.
It's in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of it for the mods. Now, we do have a new tank coming out. Finally, I'm going to be releasing the CCI sub-tank, which this has been in the works for, like, gosh, 3 months. And every time we come out with a final product, we change it a little bit. So the newest version is going to be a 3-in-1, where it's going to be a sub-tank where you have the pre-built coils. It's going to be an RTA where, you can do the tank life, but it's also going to be an RDA where it's going to come with a dripper cap that you just put on there as well. The biggest difference between my tank and anything else is that I can vape on it at 390 watts and it does not burn. It does not get a dry hit.
So that's the big future project?
Yeah, I'm thinking that one's going to come out end of August. Probably end of August. Obviously now there's the whole, what type of material do you have the coils made of? Because obviously the coil where you can handle the high wattage it's nickel, but everyone complains about nickel. Now everyone's complaining about titanium. But when you have a 0.13 ohm nickel coil in there, you can pretty much throw whatever you want at it. The coil itself is like 5 millimeters in diameter, so it's massive.
Holy crap!
Well, but he's got a point though. I mean, all these tanks that are coming out, you can have all the fucking airflow you want on the bottom. You're still going through, some of these are like 3 mil, 2.53 mil. So, and what kills me is I just saw one a couple days ago. The tank itself is close to 71 to 72 millimeters tall, and almost, just huge. And you only get like 4 mils of juice in it because there's so much shit taking up space on the inside, and the hole is still like 2.53 millimeter.
Yeah.
So, it's funny because one company comes out with it, and then everybody copies it, and then they say, oh, well, you have these replaceable coils, you can have a rebuild deck. Dude, none of that shit matters. You might as well get an Uber Toot or something tiny to tight butthole dripping because, okay, great, so you have a tank so you don't have to drip, but, the airflow is just garbage. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why our chimney is massive, which means, yes, you're going to have less room for juice, but I also don't want a tank that is, 100 millimeters tall. Mm-hmm. So it's all about trying to shove in all of those features and still have it function the way we want to. And we're pretty happy with it. The biggest complaint I think we're going to have is it is top fill, but it's also bottom fill. The reason why is because so if you use high PG juices, it'll leak when you fill it. But if you use like max VG juice, it won't. So for people who want to use high PG, they have the option of unscrewing it, flipping it over, and being good to go. But that's this is one of those projects where every time we think we're happy with it, something is weird about it. Where you put it off and kind of focus on other things until we can really sit down and figure this guy out. So.
Are you doing Pyrex or are you doing plastic?
That's Pyrex.
It's Pyrex.
Yeah.
Even something as small as my K-Fun, when I was building it for the first, I don't know how many months, I was doing 2mm coils, and every so often, because I love to chain vape, 2mm coils do not keep up on a K-Fun when you're chain vaping, at least in my experience. 2.5mm problems are gone.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too with a lot of these tanks. They advertise 60, 70, 80 watts, and you try to hit it at that, you're going to get about maybe a second of a vape, and then it's going to be nasty because there's just not enough airflow. So
See,
that's exciting when that comes out.
The other thing too is that the coils are too small. That's the issue.
Right.
Anytime when you have Canthal, when you have nichrome, that stuff gets, the longer you're pressing that button, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Right.
So that's why, when I was testing mine, I mean, I threw it on the HSB. I was vaping at 7.4 volts, on a 0.13 ohm coil, and that's, if it can handle that. But the reason why is because the coil's massive. I mean, the first issue we had with this thing is that it leaked like crazy.
Yeah.
And once we were able to figure that out, then it's pretty easy from there. Okay, we want top fill cool. We just chop off the half and thread it, or, chop off the top and just thread it, and you're good to go. So.
Do you have a ballpark of when that might be coming out?
I'm hoping, end of August is.
Okay.
I'll have the sample, the new sample here tomorrow. Finally have that coming. So I'll test it, and then it's just actually getting the production going. And we're probably going to be ordering 2,500 or 3,000 units to start. So obviously that takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I'm hoping to retail at like $40-$50. So really cheap. I mean, where it's going to be a dripper RTA sub tank combo. It's other than like somewhat. Sorry, go ahead.
What do you think about the heads, the replaceable heads?
I don't even know. I don't even have a price yet. But with me, I don't also try and screw people either. Where I'm not going to go, okay, it's $10 a coil. Like, that's dumb. People are going to buy it once, then they're just going to use the RTA function. So
I mean, even if you say $5 or $6 or whatever a coil, I mean, you're not buying a tiny little ass coil, right?
Right.
So you got. I would expect the lifetime of that coil to be a little bit more because you got so much more surface area. It's a lot bigger. So
we're at 3 weeks right now. With the other sample that we have, we haven't changed out the coil yet. It still hasn't burnt, so now we're just vaping on series boxes. We gave up with parallel. We gave up with standard tube. I said, no, if we're gonna vape this, we're gonna do it in series because that's what people are gonna be using anyway. So if we're we're about 3 weeks in, still haven't got it to burnt. So we'll see.
OD.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's one of the things I thought was neat about the Aqua V2 was the conversion between RTA and dripper.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that brought some value to that particular atomizer, even though I didn't particularly care for it myself.
We talked about it recently with, is there going to be a tank or whatever that gives, we've talked about tank/dripper, combos like the Tatro and whatnot, and how it just didn't quite give you a dripping experience,
Right. With me, like with this whole tank is, I hate tanks. I hate RTAs. I hate sub tanks because I have been cloud chasing for as long as I've been vaping, and the fact that I was satisfied with this tank to me is a huge plus because I'm not one to easily satisfy with vaping. I mean, you put a DNA 40 in my hands, I don't care how much it's worth, I'll give it back to you because I'm not going to ever use it. I can. It's just not satisfying for me. And the fact that this tank is able to handle what I throw at it is really impressive. And maybe I'm tooting my own horn, but realistically, I didn't have much to do with the design of it. Besides, I said, okay, I want it to be able to handle this. You're going to make the coil this big because I think this will work. And the rest of it was, done for me by an engineer. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we talked past, we talked present, what's out, and we talked a little bit about what's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you have cool or interesting coming before we start to wind down and close?
Well, the biggest issue with this industry is that, one, you have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring when it comes to state regs and when it comes to, the FDA. Obviously, the impending doom that they keep saying is here, but we're still waiting for it. So, when it comes to actually, expanding the business or really, looking at new products and stuff like that, you have to be very cautious because Right now, would I love to, dump a bunch of money into R&D and really try and create something new and innovative? Realistically, we don't know. Is it going to be a worthwhile investment if it takes 6 months to develop a product? Will I even be able to sell it?
Well,
by
not
the
to
time
mention
it's
product lifespans like 3 months, if that.
Yeah, if that, it's absolutely ridiculous. So you kind of play this business quite differently than a lot of other ones, where there is no 10 year, there is no 5 year, there's not even a 1 year. I mean, realistically, I'm looking to pretty much Chinese New Year right now is about as far as I'm looking, just because we just don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen. The only new product that I know will be releasing soon is going to be the newest addition to the CCI Stranger Danger line, but I don't even want to say that. Say the name of it quite yet. We get some mad hate for that, so we'll let people figure that out earlier.
Sure.
True. So we're short on time. We're not going to do tech time this week. But Master, you want to talk about?
Well, hey, one other question I have for Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
I think your post, and correct me if I'm wrong, your post about Arkansas was one of the first ones that I saw on Facebook about not being able to sell.
Yeah, so ACT 1235.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay, so ACT 1235, basically what it does is it limits one, you cannot purchase from someone outside of Arkansas. So all vaping products, all e-liquid, they have to be purchased within the state of Arkansas. So someone can't go to my website, order, someone can't call me and be like, hey, can you ship this to me? I can't do it. The other important thing with that is that brick and mortars within the state of Arkansas, they have to get a retail license and or a manufacturing license. So what they need is basically the retail license is just that you can stay in business. So similar to a tobacco's permit, anything like that. But the manufacturing license, so either A, you are making your own products, so shops where they are doing the house-made juice line, stuff like that. Or B, you need that manufacturing license if you are going to purchase from someone outside of the state and they do not have it. So a shop right now, obviously they're going to buy the retail. They're going to buy that license. Now the manufacturing license, they realistically should get, just let them, they can import any product into Arkansas, but ultimately it is up to someone outside of Arkansas to get that. So like Vapor Shark, they already have their permit. They can continue wholesaling to places within Arkansas. Me, I only have a few accounts in Arkansas. They are already working, getting the manufacturer's permit, so I'm holding off until I really see what happens.
How much is that costing? How much are
$500? So the manufacturer permit's $500. The retail one I believe is $100. Now this is a temporary. This is pretty much them saying, hey, we want to do something. We have no idea what we want to do, so here is this. So it's not the end of the world. I imagine they're going to keep retail sales limited to the state of Arkansas. It's honestly not a bad thing to do for a state, just because it keeps all of their money, in the industry within their own state, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely leading up to taxation. There's no doubt about that. It's like now they can actually keep the taxes within their state. So
and all they're doing is putting up a paywall, because you pay the $500, you get your
you're in. I have the manufacturing license right here. It is really, really, really easy. It's basically, it wants your information. It wants you to basically just take a picture of the building in which you're located at. So it wants the front, the back side. It wants your lease or rental agreement. It's super easy. I mean, they are not making it difficult to stay in the industry by any means. It's just, sucks 'cause I have to disable online sales to Arkansas.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But yeah, it's bad because obviously we don't want to be regulated at all. But at the same time,
it's putting people in a weird place.
Yeah.
It's like, we pay $500 and we live to fight another day, but that road we can't dictate where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I just look at this and I just see taxation in the future. That's what I really see behind it, because now they are keeping all of sales within Arkansas. So, it is what it is, though. There's nothing we can do about it. That was one of those bills where it snuck right in. Nobody really knew about it until, I think Cyclops Vapor was the first one that made it really public by doing their email blast and stuff, and then Vapor Shark followed up, not too late after. So.
Yeah.
But
it'll be interesting to see what those states end up doing, because I mean, if you think about it, there's quite a bit of sales that are coming from online. So if they can get $500 a pop per each, company, that's going to start adding up.
Right. So now the one thing I'm curious on, and I haven't heard back from them yet, is what happens if you are an online business within the state of Arkansas. Because if that's the case, it would not be hard for me to file for a foreign LLC within the state of Arkansas, as long as the way I would see it is I would have to ship directly from a warehouse or whatever in Arkansas. Realistically speaking, is that a good business investment? Not really. But it could be a potential way around this. But once again, who knows?
How's the post office in Arkansas?
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be worse than it is here. They have 7 mail carriers in the town I'm at right now, and today it was fun because the one that delivers to me and picks up the product, it broke down, so my mail was like 4.5 hours late, which was awesome.
Nice.
Wow.
So
yeah,
you wanted to talk tech time for next week too, right?
So next week, just so people know, we're going to be talking about PWM, and that's pulse width modulation, in regards to actual box mods, not ProVaries and SX Minis and stuff like that. So that's something that's starting to pick up, and I've had a few questions about it. So we're going to be talking about it on Tech Time on what is PWM, what does it do, in regards to vaping, parts, and then the Tech Time after that, we'll build one live on the show. So we'll have parts for you to order and stuff like that, and maybe we'll give it 2 weeks in between so people can get all their stuff in. And
no, because right now we'd be lined up for a house full. That's perfect.
Yeah. So hey, that'll work. So So we'll be able to talk about all that and explain how it works and what it does, and then build one the show after. So
sweet. Kurt, thank you for coming on. All the CCI guys who joined in and hung out with us this evening, thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
And chat and watching. I do just want to say that one of our usuals said that you sound like you're still hitting puberty, which I think is...
I'm still 12, guys. I can't help it, okay? It'll come eventually.
Yes. Kurt, you're going to be at ECC this month?
Yeah, I'll be at ECC.
Next month.
Yeah, I'm going to Vaping the Coast here in like 2 days. Then I'll be at ECC, 2 weeks following. I'll be at Vapinville the weekend after that. I'll be at Vape Blast the weekend after that. So August is going to suck.
Daniel and Adam from So Much Vape, they're another show. They're not live like us. I don't know why not. But
it should be.
I think they're also going to be at Vaping. Check out their channel called So Much Vape.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Nice peeps. What up, Daniel? Wait, no, he doesn't watch live.
No, that's less fun.
Recorded love.
All right, guys.
You won't have to worry about chat shit. And yes, we will get it figured out.
Yep. I think we did find the problem, and as soon as everybody starts logging out, we'll probably be able to fix it. So next week, the new chat should be up and running. Yeah, hopefully it should be functional and up and running good. Cross your fingers. Hopefully by like the show that's on tomorrow, it will be functional and up and running and all.
Yeah.
We should just tag the new chat. New chat. It might be a mistake, but it's a much less expensive mistake.
Yes.
True.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Peace.